I thought it was a great day. For me, the 2 points I'll take away was definitely the change in tone from last year. Last year was doom and gloom, a lot of uncertainty on some of the basic capital necessities of running a business. This year, abundance of capital, and the issue is how to use the capital. So I think that was very promising, and the mood was very upbeat. I think the second point for me was lessons learned, and in this crisis, it seems like focusing on basics, risk, underwriting always prevails in the end. So for me, that was two positive takeaways from the conference.
Yeah, absolutely, and I would concur 100% with that on each of those points. I'd also add there a theme which we saw this year, which is a repeat of last year, is the distinction between what's going on here in Canada to what we're experiencing elsewhere in the world, particularly the United States. The environment here is clearly a lot more positive, and people are upbeat about the future. They see opportunity, and they want to do business. Whereas what we do see from people outside of Canada, they're still facing a lot of challenges falling out from a very long and protracted adjustment process which began a few years ago. So that, to me, would be an additional point I'll add to what Mario had to say.
I think it's going to be a very, very positive year. I think people are, their businesses are stable. Economically, I think Canada's in great shape, so we're not worried about bankruptcies or and tenant issues. And I think it's just a matter of being patient and looking for opportunities, and they may come in different forms and in different geographies. But everybody has a business plan this year, and so I think that's really, really positive.
I think the other issue for the Canadian real estate sector, which is coming through clearly, is that it is inextricably tied to the underlying economy, and of course that ultimately translates into growth in jobs. And so if we have a recurrence in the growth in the overall economy and growth in jobs, that'll create the need for space, and the whole real estate sector will start gathering momentum again, particularly on the development front, where we've seen things quieten down somewhat. So for the next year or so, it's going to be a pretty flat, quiet period, but everybody's ready and waiting, and as soon as opportunity emerges through the overall growth in the economy, the real estate sector is very well positioned to take advantage.
And I think one of the points mentioned on the last panel is people around the world are looking for yield, and Canada has the stability to offer that. So I think you'll see inflows of capital being very strong throughout the year and beyond. So I think that gives us a great foundation to take advantage of these circumstances as they arise.
Yeah, and I'd add to that, just this is perhaps a little self-serving being in the banking industry, but the Canadian banks are in fantastic condition. And as a result of that, they do not need to go through substantial adjustment, repair, recapitalization as they do elsewhere in order just to rectify their situation. They're already in very good shape. That doesn't mean to say they'll never raise capital, but certainly they're in great condition and very willing and able to help the general economy grow.